Minasan konnichiwa. Hey guys, it's Chloe. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I thought I would rank the books that I used at language school. So obviously I used these textbooks in a classroom setting, but as I'm reviewing them, I'm considering them more from like a self-studying perspective. So I'm not going to go into too much detail for each of these, but kind of just give you my thoughts on them. So I have 5 books to rank today, so yeah, let's just get right into it. So bottom place, it was kind of hard to decide which one should go in bottom place. There are 2 contenders, and honestly I wouldn't recommend either of them, especially for self-study. Okay, I'm putting this in 5th place. J501. It's quite thick, but it's very dry. It was so boring, so boring to get through. There wasn't much that I enjoyed about this one, honestly. And even before, like, I got all of these books out and kind of went through them again as I was, planning this video. It's pretty boring and outdated. This chapter is like comparing different phones, and this is the example. This is the example for a mobile phone. So very outdated, I think. I will say it does have a lot of practice, a lot of space for practice questions and things, and I did like this like kotoba network section, which is kind of like different activities for vocabulary, but like, yeah, the rest of it just not that fun. Like, it does give you explanations and examples for the grammar points, but then again, like, it gives English with everything, like even English translations for the example sentences, which I feel at intermediate level it should not have, and I feel like it's just not needed. So it does have exercises, but yeah, the readings aren't that fun or interesting, and just generally it feels very outdated. So this one is going into the 5th position. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend this one. Next, in 4th place, but you can kind of consider it tied with the other one, it's this textbook. I do want to say I think that this is part of like a set, although the other one is the workbook. So this isn't the workbook. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this series, but I did not like it. It's mostly grammar. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much all grammar. Yeah, so it kind of just gives you a list of words. There's no translations, no context, it's just the words. And then it gives you a reading, and then like questions about the reading, and then it gives you a grammar point, it gives you example sentences, and then it expects you to just know how to use it. It doesn't give any explanations, no hints on how to form it in a sentence. It doesn't tell you anything. It just gives you examples and expects you to kind of figure it out, which isn't helpful when you're trying to learn it. There is a workbook available, and I feel like if this was the workbook and then the textbook had the explanations, like as a workbook this is fine. This is not a textbook. Like, this is not helpful. It gives you like nothing. Like, there's no translations for the vocab, so you just have to use another resource anyway to look it up, or just guess based on the reading. Actually, you know what? I'm changing it. This is going in 5th place. This one's going in 4th place, because I liked the vocab sections, like the vocab network. This one has nothing good going for it. I did not like this one. It would be very, very hard to use as a self-studier. Obviously in the classroom, we had extra supplements and handouts, and the teacher had her PowerPoints and was going through each of the grammar points and explaining it. So I had to like write in all the extra information that was just omitted from this book. Yeah, if you're self-studying, like, don't bother. Don't bother with this one, it's not great. And I'm like, I feel like, am I missing something? Like, there's just no explanations, nothing, no translations for the vocab or anything. Like, if you're using this on your own, that's so much extra work that you have to do. Like, it's not easy to just use it. Like, it's not even the, you know, the concepts are difficult, it's like there's just no information. So, don't like this series at all. Okay, in third place is this New Approach. This one's going in the middle because honestly, before I got all of my books out, I forgot that this was even one that I used. I still cannot remember using this in class. Like, I have no memory of using it. That being said, I prefer it to, you know, the last two, so that's why it's going in third place. So you get nice long readings in this one, which I do appreciate. Varied topics. Genuinely, without reading through them all again, I can't remember if I enjoyed them or not. Like the J501, I can remember this one because it was so dry and boring. This one I can't remember really. I don't remember disliking it, but obviously it wasn't good enough to leave an impression. So this one does give a bit of explanation and like examples for each of the grammar points, and then it does give like the practice questions. There's like a small vocab section, but again there's like no translations or definitions or anything. It just gives you words and you just have to figure it out, I guess. And then yeah, there's some like listening questions at the end. So yeah, I don't really have much to say because I can't remember using this book. Yeah, make of that what you will. It's fine. I mean, if you don't have any other options, then this one will do, I guess. So now we get into the books that I have good things to say about. Okay, so for the top two, again, I'd say they're like pretty close. There isn't one that is like obviously much better than the other, but for second place, I'm gonna put this one, and this is actually my third copy of this textbook. I bought this one when I was in England before I moved to Japan. I sold it before I moved here because I didn't have time to use it, and then I did pick up another copy like not long after I moved here, and then before I even had a chance to use it, we got given it as part of my course at school. Japan Through My Eyes, for intermediate learners of Japanese. You get some like questions for before, during and after reading the text. You get two copies of the text. You get one without furigana and you get one with furigana. So obviously depending on how confident you feel with kanji, you can, you know, use one or the other, which I feel is not necessary, but it's kind of a nice touch. And then you do get a nice long list of vocabulary, new words used in the text, which is very helpful to have it right there. So as you're reading, if there's anything you don't know, it's right there in the book. You don't have to worry about, you know, looking it up or whatever. And then you get into the grammar, and you do get some decent explanations, you know, like how to form it, things like that. You get a few example sentences and then more like practice questions. And something else that I like is that they often have like mini vocab lists as you go through the grammar. So if there's any other words that they kind of assume you don't know, that's nice to have like on the relevant pages. So there is quite a lot to cover in each chapter. It's broken down into like 5 different steps. Like it's a lot of information in each chapter, which I know can be quite off-putting. But then there's, you know, more activities, more tasks. There's like a listening and fill in the blank, more vocab. There's probably like 100 words per chapter. It's crazy. And then more like conversation practice and dialogues and things, you know, kind of like how to form the conversation, which is interesting. And then there's like role play and speeches and stuff which you can't really do on your own, but you know, it's there. There's also like writing prompts, and then at the end of each chapter there is a second reading. Again, one with furigana, one without. Another lengthy vocab list. I mean, I take it back, there's probably like 200 words per chapter in this book. There's a lot of words. But yes, it's meaty, but it's got the information in there. So for self-studiers, I think this is a good one. So this is my second place. And then first place is this one. And I think this series is like fairly popular. It's solid, it's decent. So you get some vocab at the beginning of each chapter. Like, it doesn't give you translations, it, you know, has you do it yourself, but there's a lot more context, so you can kind of figure it out. So, you know, you can match the picture to the word. And then there's more like keywords, and there's like listening, so you have to listen, write down, you know, like the reading for each word, and then you can look up the meaning of it. And then you get the reading. I think these ones tend to be a bit shorter than some of the others, but I remember them not being like unbearable, like they're pretty good. Different topics and such. And then there's some more vocabulary like activities, which is nice because I feel like a lot of books will just give you a list and just say like remember them. So I do like to give extra points when a textbook actually has vocabulary activities, like it's not just grammar questions and things, so it gets extra points for that. And then we get into the grammar. So each grammar point has a very brief section, only a couple of example sentences. Exercises are separated, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it is what it is. And then there's like listening questions, so you have to like listen and fill in the gaps. And then there's some more like vocab listening. And then there is a writing question, which again, like if you're on your own, you know, it might be useful to have a tutor mark it, but like you can still write it on your own. And then there's this like extra section at the end of the chapters, with some more vocab and some more like reading. But yeah, I think this one is the best out of the ones that I use at language school, to the point that I would consider using this series again. Yes, if you're self-studying, I think these two are the best choices. The others, not really helpful or interesting for self-studying. Yeah, I think probably this series is my top choice. So that's the video. I hope there's something you could take away from this, even if it's which books to avoid. If you do want to see any of these books in more detail, let me know. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again in the next one.